morning, and welcome to Common Ground. Hello, I'm Jim Nelson, your host. On today's show, we'll look at some of the theater entertainment that's going on during this holiday season. But first, we'll start here at the Emmy Gifford Children's Theater, where they're rehearsing for the performance of Oliver. We're talking with members of the cast, some of the members of the cast of Oliver, being performed at the Emmy Gifford Children's Theater. We have Camille, Derek, Melvin, and Lynette. First of all, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me, and we'll start off with Derek here. So what's your character? Who are you?
I'm one of the Fagin boys, and I teach people. I teach the people, some people who that they got pockets.
They have to steal. You teach them how to steal. Yeah. Okay, well, this is just a role, right? You know, this is something you just do for the show, right?
It's real acting.
Have you ever done any other plays before?
No, this is my first one.
Well, your first one. What do you think so far?
It's pretty good.
You use rehearsals and learning. You have any lines?
No.
No lines. So you're just moving around a lot?
Yes.
You sing?
Singing.
You sing too, huh?
Yeah.
So folks come out and they get to hear those golden tones of yours, right? Is that it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, maybe we'll get a chance to come out and see you sing. And do your other thing too.
Oh, you have a cat now, I see, and kittens too, I declare.
Oh, yes, Mr. Bumble, and I'm so fond of them, you just can't imagine. And they're very fond of their home, too. I'm playing Widow Corney, and I'm also involved as a townsperson in the rest of the show. But Widow Corney is one of the administrators in the workhouse where Oliver is born and raised, and she's kind of a mean and nasty character. She basically is responsible for him being kicked out because he asks for more food.
I think that's the part everybody remembers.
Yeah, he wants more. But and then eventually I find out his identity, which is he's from a rich family, and my husband and I try to basically get money for that information, and we end up losing our jobs, actually.
Now, you've performed in other plays as well.
Yes,
So this is no first for you.
No, I've done, I usually try to do 1 or 2 shows a year. I've been performing as an adult since about 1982.
How about any training? Do you have any special training for this?
No, not really. Basically, I consider myself a singer, and all the stage productions I do are usually musicals because I don't think that I'm much of an actress, but I'd like to branch off in that direction. But mostly I sing. I sing more than I act. I shall scream, till they hasten to my rescue, I shall scream.
Since there's nobody that's near us who could see us or could hear us, if I ask you, can I kiss you? Say, what will my pretty miss do?
I shall scream.
Lynette, yes. Let's talk to you a little bit. What part do you play?
I'm playing Mrs. Bedwin, who's the housekeeper to Mr. Brownlow, who is Oliver's grandfather. And I'm also a townsperson, and it's a really neat role.
How about any professional experiences? Is this your first play?
No, it isn't. In school, I majored in speech and drama, and the last production I did was the 1940s radio hour at the Playhouse, and which was great because I ended up getting to go to Austria at the end of the run. So this I would say that I'm semi-professional, let's put it that way. International semi-professional.
Okay, well, that's a start, you know. Next to be worldwide, right?
The part I play is part of Noah, and he's one of the boys who works for the Sourberries. Now, the Sourberries own a funeral home, and I get kind of angry at Oliver because he's stepping in on my territory, and I'm just like one of the evil guys, one of the villains. I also play a townsperson and singer, and I also play other parts. And I got involved. I saw it in the paper, and they had auditions, and I came and I auditioned, and I was given the part as chorus, and then I was given the part as everything else afterwards. But I was really excited because I was really happy because I did want to go ahead and do the part as the chorus, but I also wanted more parts, and I'm glad that Michelle, or our director, put me in several other parts because I have fun. I love acting. That's all I do.
Well, this isn't your first then.
No. I did several things at Central. That's my high school. Where I graduated from, and I played Kaniki in Grease, and I also did the road show. I'm also on the other hand side a stand-up comedian, and but I plan to major in drama, and next year I'll be going to San Diego State.
Oliver! Won't ask for more when he knows what's in store.
Long overdue for sweeping out, which will push him up ahead. One day next year with the rats will be creeping out. Oliver! What will he do in this terrible suit? He will rule the day. Somebody name him Oliver!
Lock him up. Collect all his belongings and bring him to me when you're done. Yes, Mom. Too bad, all of you.
Tell us about the play.
The play is based on the novel by Charles Dickens called Oliver Twist. And if you know anything about Charles Dickens, you know that he always wrote about very, very poor people. And this seems like a funny play to do for Christmas because it's all about people who pick pockets and, people who live in the workhouse, and it's really kind of sad. It's pathetic. But what happens always in Dickens plays or music, he didn't write plays, but what happens in all of his novels is that everybody, good triumphs at the end, and good people usually turn out okay. You know what I mean? The bad people are punished and the good people are rewarded, and it's not exactly reality, but in the 1850s he was real popular because he always had a positive note at the end of every novel.
When it comes to getting involved in theater for black folks, you as a director, what are your feelings about actors in general?
If you're a good actor, the audience will accept you no matter what. They may be startled at first, but they will accept you, even if you don't fit their idea of what this character should be. If you can act it, it won't matter, and that's the way I feel. If you can act it, I don't care who you are. As long as you're a good actor, as long as you show up for rehearsal, as long as you make the commitment and you stick to it, I'll cast you. And I think that a lot of people feel that way too. You gotta get out and try, though. Just get out and try. And maybe you won't always succeed, but then nobody always succeeds, I don't think.
Okay, well, at least the effort alone.
The effort is a big, you can impress a director at auditions by how much effort you put forth and how willing you are to get up and try. So I'd say try.
Or at least come and see this from the start.
Absolutely, because it's really a fun show.
Joining me now is president of Go Ahead Magazine and Go Ahead Productions, Mr. James Boone. James, welcome to the show. You've been on before, talking about some of the things you've been doing. What you doing now?
Well, we are planning our first annual Omaha Entertainment and Music Award show on December the 4th.
That's tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow at the Civic Auditorium Music Hall.
Okay.
And it's the first.
Go ahead.
It's the first time that as I can remember since I've been in Omaha, and people have told me in the past, it's the first time this type of entertainment show has been, in Omaha.
Okay, let's give them a little background on why you're doing this. Now, the last time you were on the show, you were doing something for the senior citizens. Mm-hmm. And we were talking a little earlier, and you were explaining to me how this is an extension of all of that. We're getting the young folks involved with helping the older folks. And through this first annual Omaha Black Music and Entertainment Awards. Sunday, December 4th, that's tomorrow, at the Civic Auditorium, the Music Hall, from 6 until it's done.
Right.
We've got categories. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you know, in Omaha, you have got some tremendous entertainers in the R&B field, the soul field, the rap field, and also in the gospel category. You got some good musicians, ministers of music in the gospel part, and you know, I just thought it'd be a good idea, and people in Go Ahead thought it'd be a good idea to acknowledge some of these people, you know, throughout the city. And by being an entertainer for 15 years, I thought this would be a good time now in the time of my life. And since I'm dealing with the seniors, this would be a good fundraiser for Go Ahead Magazine to try to raise funds for our senior citizen program.
Okay, now how does this work? You've got all these categories, and since this is happening tomorrow, all the votes have been tabulated, or, you know, people were sent these category sheets to decide which of their favorite that they would like to see win an award. And I guess it's a matter of whoever got the most votes. Is that how it works?
Well, that has a big big part to play in this. Our readers.
Okay.
You know, we have had it in our October and November issue. We have had the categories listed in the paper, and a lot of people have been sending the people who they think they should be, you know, the winners this year. It's going to be kind of hard because, like I said, you have a lot of great talent around here, and this is based on professional. You have to be a professional entertainer in order to be categorized.
Okay.
You know, you have to be a professional. It's not for no one that's just starting out. This thing is for people who have shed blood,
Paid
sweat,
their dues, huh?
paid their dues, and you know, and they have dreams,
Right.
you know, and we hope one of these days that we can start getting more stars and people that have potential stars out of Omaha.
And okay, this is the first of this kind in this area.
This is the first of its kind in this area.
What's the program going to be like?
Well, it's going to be very entertaining. We got over 21 categories, and we're going to have entertainment there. Some of the people that are been nominated will be providing performing that day, you know, that
okay.
evening. And we got some for the young, the middle-aged, and older, because this is a family-type program.
Okay, when you say Black Music and Entertainment Awards, we're looking at, and it's not so much this is black music, it's just music from the heart.
Right. Well, you know, you have, if you're familiar with Billboard magazine, you have a category of
Right.
black music. And so
We used to call that rhythm and blues.
Rhythm and blues, but now they call it black music. So what we're doing, we're just going off that category that Billboard all over the country goes by, all over the world go by.
There are a lot of people around here, a lot of entertainers around the Omaha area.
Well, I think, Jim, there is quite a bit. There's quite a lot of entertainers around, but it's a thing where you just only see mostly of the ones that have the potential. A lot of the guys that are just, you know, in the basement and stuff, you have a lot of entertainment just stay in the basement so long that they never come out. So what we're trying to do is get more people to come out in basements, and you got some, like I said, you got some good talent around here.
Just want to briefly go through some of these categories. You got like the bands, male vocalist, female vocalist, and then you got jazz group, rap group, comedians. You got some black comedians around
Yeah, you got
here?
some comedians, man.
And then your favorite record shop. Now,
Right.
that's a new one.
That's a new one there.
Okay, and then you got your gospel, you got your adult choir, youth choir, quartet group,
Right.
gospel male vocalist, gospel female vocalist, gospel songwriters.
Songwriters.
You got songwriters around there?
Oh, you got some fantastic.
Some original gospel music is
originals.
coming out of
You
here?
got some fantastic songwriters here in Omaha.
Will we hear any of that? Original stuff?
Well, I'm quite sure you'll hear some at night.
Okay.
I'm quite sure you will.
Then you got your favorite nightclub,
Well, live entertainment where they have live music.
radio show, and then here's one I like, his favorite community TV talk show.
Yes.
We're not going to mention no names on that one, but that's nice. This whole thing is nice. This is really nice to see. How long you been working on this?
Well, I've had it in my mind for about a year and a half, and I thought this would be a good time to project this to the Omaha community, since that our senior citizen program is getting so huge now. I thought this would be a good time to try to get more younger people involved and to our senior program and try to hook this up, you know, to our senior
Yeah,
citizen
see,
program.
you keep mentioning the senior citizens program. I guess you can't separate this from the senior. It's all one big effort here that you're doing.
Well, it's a big effort because we have to pay for it, and we don't get no grants from no one and nobody. So
Yeah.
I have to kind of.
When you talk about
arrange.
pay, we might as well let them know that there's going to be a charge at the door, folks. So you're going to have to come up with a little bit of scratch.
For $5. You know.
$5. I mean, for a good time, you can't really beat it. And all in one place, all this talent.
Yes, all this talent.
That in itself, you couldn't get that in a club.
No, you sure can.
So it's going to be more than worth the $5 admission, $5.25 or something like that.
$5.25.
Let's see if there's anything. How about since this is happening tomorrow, and the results will be announced then. That won't be the end of it, will it? I mean, once that's over, will you have it? You think you'll do it again so that those people that saw it can say, well, maybe next year I can get better and get myself one of those big trophies that they're going to be giving away?
Well, you know, this is something that I'm quite sure that I will do next year, because anytime I do something, anybody know me personally, I believe that I don't believe in doing something once without doing it twice if it's a good cause. And I think this will help a lot of young musicians and the people that are already professional be more interested in their craft and what they do. And we hope that more young kids that will take the music seriously by, per se, taking music lessons.
Right.
I was a professional entertainer. I hate to even tell on myself like this, but I made over 1645 and 2 albums and couldn't read or look at music. And that's kind of a bad thing to say.
Just think if you could have read that music.
Yeah, I read the music. But I feel like that I'm trying to cover up some of my bad tracks, and I want to try to make good impression on the young people coming up and try to encourage them to take music lessons as they go along and try to maybe, you know, if they want to get into the entertainment business, to do it more on a more professional level.
Right. Okay, once again, let's tell them this is tomorrow at Civic Auditorium Music Hall. It's the first annual Omaha Black Music Awards, first annual Omaha Black Music and Entertainment Awards. And it's tomorrow at the Civic Auditorium Music Hall. It starts at 6, $5.25 or something like that at the door. I want to wish you all the luck on it, and
thank you very much.
I'm sure it'll be as successful as all the other ventures that you've been involved with. We'll be right back.
Floral Creations by Twilla Z, located in the Business and Technology Center, is a flower shop and a whole lot more. Custom arrangements for all occasions, delivered anywhere. For your leisure wear, there's shades of black sportswear, greeting cards and stationery that speak a language of their own. It's all waiting for you at Floral Creations by Twilla Z, a flower shop and a whole lot more.
Do you know something, Michael? You've changed.
Well, so have you.
Well, nobody's perfect, nobody's perfect. I am human, so are you.
Nobody's perfect, nobody's perfect. Now here is what we ought to plan to do. Let's make a list of irritating habits that we feel the other person has.
Then when we know our irritating habits, we can correct them.
As for example, now please don't be offended, 'cause these things, they do exist. I have taken the little liberty of making up a little list. Now I hope you don't mind.
Oh, I'm quite sure that I don't mind.
Well, that's very big of you.
Well, you see, my dear, it just so happens that I put together a little listing, too. A pair of socks does not represent the end of the civilized world. When you're out of socks, believe me when I say that there's bound to be a more effective way to get them washed than to stand in your drawers in the middle of the kitchen screaming. Someone has stolen my socks.
This is a piece of paper. Now, this, as you know, is a statement from the bank. It represents the total amount of all the figures inside the column. If we are to know, in terms of cost, just how much money we've made or lost, how far, in fact, we've come or gone. Honey, what I'm trying to tell you is you're overdrawn. Again.
You chew in your sleep.
What?
You chew. You go like this.
I don't.
You do.
I've never done a thing like that in my life.
Darling, please remember I'm your wife. You chew in your sleep. You do it frequently.
But that's absolutely awful.
I quite agree.
You are always late.
You are always early.
We're totally dressed and ready to go. I open the door, but do we make it? No. It's where are my gloves, my gloves, my gloves, and where is my purse, my purse, my purse? Where are my keys? Where is my hat? Where is my this? Where is my that? If I complain, it only makes it worse. Hat and gloves, keys and purse, pain in the neck, terrible curse. And I would simply like to state the thing I really, really hate is your terrible, horrible habit you have of always being late.
Well, when I start to tell a story, an amusing anecdote I've read, when I start to tell a funny story, I get flustered 'cause I know what lies ahead. It always happens, yes, when I start to tell a story. It makes no difference where we are. When I get where the joke should be, you tell it just ahead of me. I mean to say, it drives me mad.
You give me Russian dressing, which I happen to detest.
You grab the morning papers and you take the part that's best.
Every night since we've been wed, you've worn cold cream into bed. Every night beneath the sheet, must you look like trick or treat?
Well, nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. I am human, so are you. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And here is what we ought to plan to do. You take my list and see if you can do a little better.
You take mine and see if you don't notice an improvement.
'Cause nobody's perfect, especially
not you.
not you, not you, not you, not you, not you, not you.
Okay, hold it here. No, let's not have no fighting on this show here. What you have just seen are scenes from I Do, I Do. We have Mr. Bill Bohannon here, Miss Marge Simons, and they are the cast members. Marge, tell me a little bit about this play.
Well, I play Agnes, and you watch Agnes go forward in her life from the day of her wedding through children and her husband's affair and their rise in prosperity, and you see her old and actually leaving the house she first came into. It's a wonderful role.
Okay, Bill, tell me what your part is here.
I play her husband, Michael. We start off, like I say, on our wedding day, and then we go through all the things. It's not real nice. It's a wonderful family show, but it kind of makes the man look like, what would you say, the jerk. But it does end up that they go from the age of, like I would say, around 20 up to about 70. It takes place in the 1900s and ends around 1950s.
Is this what you call a classical play?
Yeah, it's one of the classics I do. It was on Broadway with Mary Martin and Robert Preston.
Okay, how many people are in this?
The two of us.
Just the two.
That's it?
Yeah.
How long is the play?
The show runs about an hour and 45 minutes. And what we've done at the theater, we've decorated the theater like you're at a church wedding. We have ribbons in all the aisles, and they have to go through a little arch. And at intermission, we have cakes. Yes, we have a little dress book. I mean, signature book for people. Neither one of us are married, so I don't really know these things.
Okay. One last question. There's just two of you, and we might make note that this couch is really not a true representative of the stage. Where does this take place at?
Actually, it really takes place in the bedroom. Takes place in their bedroom.
The whole show is in the bedroom.
Right.
Pretty much, yes. We've got little dressing areas off to each side, but you really see what happens. The family grows and goes in the bedroom.
This musical was written from the play called The Four-Poster Bed, which takes place around the bed. That's what it's from.
Okay, you're going to be performing tonight.
Right. What we've done, we've double cast the production. And we have another couple, Jan Dickinson and John Morrissey, who are doing the other couple, and we're trading off weekends. So our last performance is tonight, and then they have 7 more performances after that. We close December 11th.
Okay, I want to thank you both for coming, and we're going to wrap up the show with them doing one more song, and this song most people are familiar with, so I'll just leave you two to do it.
Sometimes in the morning, when shadows are deep, I lie here beside you, just watching you sleep. And sometimes I whisper what I'm thinking of. My cup runneth over with love.
Sometimes in the evening, when you do not see, I study the small things you do constantly.